Maybe I didn't start recording. Oh, I didn't push the record button. So I got an amazing gift yesterday. One of my friends, she called me and she said that she wanted to ask me how she could send an email to one of her clients, and her client was used to getting emails in a single attachment every month. And for some reason, the backup this month was really big, and so she's wondering how she could send it because it got returned. You know, it was like return mailer demon or whatever. This email exceeds the allowed storage space or something like that. And so she calls me, and I was just like, well, you can turn it into a zip file, you know, and then we proceeded to convert it into a zip file. She said it was still too big. And I was like, I think you're going to have to send it into 2 files. And she's just like, I don't want to send it to 2 files. Do you know anything about this customer, Tuan? This is like my heartache customer. This is my client that is like extremely particular, and she has these extreme preferences, and if I sent her two emails, she would not be happy about that. In fact, she would probably respond to like a form of frustration in her email, and then she would copy the CEO of our company about it. And I was just like, well, who usually sends it? You know, what's going on? She goes, oh, usually this guy sends it, but, you know, he's no longer in this department. And I was like, well, do you want me to call him and talk to him so I can ask him, like, you know, what is this about and stuff? And she's like, no, I've already bothered him a few times, so I don't want to do any more bothering him. I'm just trying to figure out, like, how I should do this, because I don't want to send her 2 emails. And, you know, at this point, I was getting more and more concerned. I'm a life coach, so I'm going to say I'm concerned. And I said, well, why, because she gets graded on her customer service, and she gets a customer service score, and it's a really big deal. And it's, you know, every customer survey counts. It'll count towards an average of responses to affect your score. And I was like, it was such a crazy conversation we were having, and I kind of lost it. And I said, that client of yours, she is not in charge of your happiness. The only solution left is for you to send her 2 emails. And if she responds the way she responds, if she gets angry, she gets angry. If she copies the CEO, she copies the CEO. She's not in charge of your happiness. Because I was committed to her leaving this conversation with me empowered. I wanted her to leave it empowered and strong and continue to be the badass that she is. And I was trying, like her shrinking down and her allowing a client of hers to affect her happiness, her freedom to do her job with some autonomy. It was the way she was being, the vibrational frequency from which she operated was such a shadow of herself in that. And I saw that, you know, and it really took me aback, because the crazy part is I understood on a really deep level what it means to have your customer service score affected by a possibly angry client. And I understood, like, the strength it took for anyone to get their customer service score announced publicly in front of anybody, because it's you know, it's like personal, because you work so hard and you see it as possibly a reflection of your customer service. And I don't think it's always true, because we have, you know, I know some superstar friends that they blow it out of the water month after month, and their scores still go up and down. So it's not a true, you know, it's not a true reflection of the quality of your service. But when it goes up and down, it can affect you. You can allow it to affect you because you have a lot riding on it. There's a big emphasis on it. And I wanted so badly to say, yes, you are so right. We should bend over backwards. We need to figure out, we need to do whatever we can to make, this client of yours happy. We need to figure out, there's got to be a solution where we can just keep sending her that single email she's gotten in the last 12 months. There's got to be a way. And we tried it. We tried the zip file and it just didn't work. And so it came to a crossroads where we had to do something different. And it was scary for her because she really didn't want to piss this client of hers off. And I found I was resisting, I was falling into the trap of, oh my gosh, I want to run back to her and tell her, I want to call her back and say, wait, yeah, let's keep looking, let's keep doing this, let's keep talking about how we need to do everything we can and walk on all these eggshells to make sure this client is happy. And it just made no sense, but I was resisting it so badly. And and it made me think, gosh, this is something I need to share. How many of us allow someone else to affect our happiness, right? How many of us allow other people to affect our happiness? And the honest truth is, it's a choice, right? You can control what you can control, and you can say what you can say, you can think what you can think. That person that has that particular preference, that person that says that thing that triggers you, that person that says something that you don't agree with, that person that has the ability to complain and talk some negative stuff about you, whether you agreed or not, that person will say what they say and do what they do. But you get to hear what they say, and then you get to choose how you respond. You get to choose your thoughts. You get to choose your reactions. And when you are such in a state where you allow that person to completely control you, in the aspect that you are so I don't know what I should do. I don't want to piss her off. This is going to be a shitstorm or something. My life's about to fall apart. When you allow someone else to have that kind of control over you, you are completely giving up ownership of your life. You're allowing someone else to drive your vehicle. You are playing the victim. And it's what's the payoff? It's always the same stuff, right? It's always just why would anybody give up their power to someone else? Why would you allow someone else to control your happiness? Why would you allow someone else to make you be a shadow of yourself? Because it's the perfect out, right? Why do I complain about my husband and his razor blade? Why do I get annoyed when he doesn't close the wipes box, after he changes Ava's diaper and wipes her butt? Why am I not seeing, oh my gosh, my husband helped me, change the diaper and wiped her butt, instead of, he left that box open again, the wipes are going to get all dried out, and we're going to throw it in the trash can, and he left the razor blade out again, and the kids are going to cut themselves. It's whenever we give up that kind of control and we allow others to control our happiness, is when we start living a lesser version of ourselves. We start living a version of ourselves that's really out of alignment with who we are, and we start being really unhappy and grumpy, and it starts bleeding into all aspects of our life. Yesterday when I was scared about being a coach, I started sabotaging, complaining, all this stuff, and I started looking for all this evidence to support why I had to be unhappy. I was so set on being unhappy. And so that was the same trap that my friend was falling into. She was allowing someone else to control her happiness. She was giving her power to control her own happiness. And it just simply did not serve her. If you were to look at your future self, your higher self, would you reflect back and say, oh my gosh, I'm so glad that I harped on my husband, because it was so important that razor blade get put away every single time. It was so important that he closed that the wipes box so that it doesn't dry out. It was so important that I tiptoed around that client so that they wouldn't be pissed off because they would have complained to my CEO about something. You know, like, that's not living. That's like ridiculous, right? That is like, it's like you're looking for any possible way to tiptoe around your life. You're not allowing yourself to be. You're not allowing yourself to be expressed. You're allowing the circumstances to make you lesser of a person. You know, and it's just, it's not in alignment with who you are. You know, we came here to share our message. We came here to do our thing. We came here to do our soul art. We came here to have deep, meaningful relationships. We came here to feed our soul, to expand our soul, to expand ourselves, to have continued growth. You know, we didn't come here to complain about a ridiculously particular client, or we didn't come here to complain about our husband, or we didn't come here to give up control of how we want to live our life. Like, that way of being is so non-serving. You know, it's so non-serving. It serves no purpose. It's, you know, I was just thinking about it. I was like, oh my gosh, why do we do that? Why do we do that? Because it's the perfect out, right? Then who do we have to blame? Well, it was my husband's fault. He was the one that made me so unhappy. He was the one that always left his razor blade out. He was the one that never closed the wipes box. That client was such a pain in the ass. She was never ever happy. Nothing I could do to make her happy. So why are you unhappy about something that you can't control? Right? How does that serve you? How does that make any sense whatsoever? And, you know, it's when I decided that enough was enough. This is not the life I was going to live. This is not coming from a place of alignment. This is not what my soul, this is not my soul's message. This is not operating from my soul's alignment. Like, it's total BS. And, you know, it wasn't until I hired a coach and got some enlightenment. It wasn't until I decided. It wasn't until I started doing the inner work and writing out my manifestations and journaling and envisioning how I would like to be and start taking actions toward being the person I like to be before I started seeing any changes in my mindset, my demeanor, my feelings, my confidence, my physique, my overall health, my vibrance, my happiness, my content, my peace, my peacefulness, my zen, my clarity, all that comes from you. It comes from you making a decision. That comes from you deciding. That comes from you committing that you have had enough. Enough is enough. You're no longer giving up control. You're no longer giving up your power to someone else to affect your happiness, your satisfaction, your peace, your strength, the person who you came here to be, right? It simply does not serve you. When you give the power up to someone else, how are you going to control anything, right? You're in the car and you give someone else the ability to drive your car. Like, that makes no sense. Everyone has their own sets of keys. Everyone has their own car. Drive your own car. Don't let the other person drive your car. How can they drive two cars at the same time? I mean, it's going to result in, it can't end beautifully, all right? It's going to have some sort of collision. They're trying to do two things. One leg is in here, one leg's in there. Like, it makes no sense. It makes no sense, and it simply does not serve you. So that's my soapbox of the day. That is my message to you. Decide. Commit to living your soul elevated life. Commit to tapping into a higher version of yourself. Commit to being the person, the soul you know you came here to be. Not a shadow of yourself, not the ghost of yourself, not someone that is unhappy because you blame it on someone else, some factor other than yourself. You are in charge of your happiness. You are in charge of choosing your emotions. You are in charge of your thoughts, your actions, your words. If you don't know how to access it, hire a coach. It doesn't have to be me. If I resonate with you, reach out to me. If someone else resonates out to you, reach out to that person. Everyone's message is different. Everyone has a special vibe, special frequency. and find that person, find that coach, that mentor that will truly change your life. And you'll be on your way to living your soul elevated life. And you'll be so glad, because when you don't get the message, when you don't live your soul's alignment, when you don't experience all you came here to experience, you're going to keep reincarnating and reincarnating and reincarnating. You're going to come back again and again and again. And when are you finally going to say, next time when I come back, I want to master some new lessons. Next time I want to come back, I want to go to the next level. Like that Batman game I was talking to you about yesterday. Next time I come play that Batman game, it better be in a higher level, because I'm advancing and ascending and not keep being stuck over and over at the same freaking level, because I won't allow myself to control myself, to be in charge of myself, to take complete ownership of my life. When you own every aspect of your life is when you truly take charge of your life. Then that's when you truly start living a soul elevated life. I'll see you tomorrow.